Can she challenge Genzebe Dibaba? Dibaba is the outstanding favourite. She already has the gold medal from the 1500 metres 4 or 5 days ago. An astonishing 157.0. There she is. World record holder indoors for 5,000, for 3,000, for 1,500 metres. World record holder outdoors now, of course, as of the 17th of July, for 1,500 metres with that astonishing 350.07 in Monaco. She has that golden touch, this young lady, under the tutelage of Jama Arden. Mercy Chirono, certainly one to watch. The Commonwealth champion last year in Glasgow, former World Junior champion at 3,000. Indeed, she won that title in 2008 and won it again 2 years later. That takes a special talent. Chirono, a very fast kick, the silver medalist from 2 years ago when the gold was won by Meseret Defar. Cheptai, Vent is in there as well for Austria. There's Ayana, producing 14.14 in Shanghai when she was in touching distance for the world record of Dibaba. She said she didn't realise how fast she was going on the night, right at the beginning of the season, back in the middle of May. She's the third fastest in history. Janet Kieser, second in the Commonwealth 5,000 last year. Past champions of this event, well, Vivian Chariot winning titles, consecutive titles in 2009 and 2011. And the title held, of course, by Defar. That will be relinquished tonight. She's not in this field. But Sonia O'Sullivan winning in 1995. Gabby Szabo, it's 97 and 99. Then it became the period of, after Yegorov's win, a controversial win in 2001 in Edmonton, of the Africans. Tirunesh Dibaba winning a brace of titles in 2003, 2005. Devar, the first of her 2 titles in 2007, and then regaining it 2 years ago in Moscow. Prior to 1995 and Sonia O'Sullivan's win for Ireland, when Paula Radcliffe was in 5th place, it was at 3,000 metres at the World Championships in the early editions. Now, quite rightly, it's the same as the men's programme. Now, if they were to run 70 seconds per lap, it would be 14.35. If they were to run, well, 68 seconds per lap, 14.10, which is world record schedule. As ever, Martin, the Japanese have gone off with real intent. I have to admire them. They did this in the marathon this morning, although it came to no avail. They've done it at every distance event at these championships. They go out hard and try and at least fulfill their potential so they can hold their heads high, which is more than many of the men's 5,000 metre field last night after that victory of Mo Farah in an astonishingly slow time can do themselves.
So our first view of the Russian, Siplikov. A clean card so far. This is first attempt at 2:29. He's over. Well, the news on other athletes, defending champion Bohdan Bondarenko has opted to pass at this height, having gone clear first attempt at 2:25. So he's only taken 1 jump so far. But Siplikov in a share of first spot at the moment. This is Zhang. He too, perfect at the moment. Attacks the bar. Well, he appeared to hang in the air for an age. And China with real interest in both field finals at the moment. Zhang, his 3rd consecutive clearance at 2:29. He now has a share of the lead with Siplikov. There, Mataz Esabashin.
Well, a 72-second lap there after a 73-second opener. It takes them through 800 metres in 2:25. It's very slow, although Genzebe Dibaba has dragged the pack up onto the heels of the 2 Japanese. Onishi, it is, who leads from her teammate Ayuko Suzuki, the World Student Games champion at 10,000 metres a few years back. They tend to have a lot of strength, the Japanese, not a great deal of speed, and I think they're running this in just the right way. However, this pack of, 10 athletes is about 30 metres ahead as they go through 1,000 metres, just outside 3 minutes, 3:01:66, of a pack of 5 with Kauken and Steph Twell and Eloise Wellings and Tully, and indeed the Austrian Jenny Wendt, probably 30 metres down. Even though they're not exactly flying along, I'm a little puzzled at the fact that this pack are moving at about, not much inside 15-minute tempo, and yet the group of 5 has already lost a lot of ground.
We can see how the two East African rivals, Kenya and Ethiopia, keeping a close eye on one another. The salmon pink having come back to the pack. That lap just inside 73, but at the moment, really, it's 15-minute pace. Of course, it's going to quicken up beyond that. But it's amazing, really, those two Japanese going to the front, and almost immediately we had 2 groups gathering. 5 women in that second group.
Almaz Ayana has had enough. They got to 2,000 metres in 6:06. 100 metres later, she hit the front and really put her foot on the pedal. And immediately into a slipstream went her teammate, Genzebe Dibaba. They cover that lap in 68 seconds. Now where the race is on, they've been going 73, 72, 73. And you can see what a 5-second injection of pace does to this field. It's ripped it asunder. Mercy Cherono in 3rd place, the Commonwealth champion, the only one of the Kenyans able to live with this surge. They're trying desperately to get back to them, the rest of them, but it's Ayana from Dibaba, then Cherono, accelerating through into 4th place to Ferry now. Goes past Kibiwot. So that's the top 5 as they go through. And this will be a very, very different affair from here on, because that injection from Ayana was a real statement of intent. It was right. I've had enough of this. Try and come with me. And I'm afraid for her that for Genzebe Dibaba, the little acceleration with that 1,500 metre speed, that astonishing strength and pace was not difficult at all. Dibaba, the 4th fastest in history, the 1,500 champion here with a final 800 of 1:57. 8th in the World Championships, 1,500 metres, funnily enough, a couple of years ago, when she was building a bit of a reputation for being great indoors and not able to do it outdoors. Well, she's killed that myth with her stunning world record in Monaco back in July. Ayana leading, but if she's going to make this work, Ayana has got to stay determined. She's got to push on strongly from here and try to test Dibaba. However, Jama Eden, in discussions last night with other agents, apparently has said that he believes, and listen to this, that Genzebe Dibaba is capable of running 13:50 or slightly under for 5,000 metres. That would be a cool 21 or 22 seconds quicker than the world record. Cherono has had to let go in 3rd place. She's isolated now. Ayana and Dibaba, the big 2. Ayana, the 3rd fastest in history. Dibaba, the 4th fastest in history. They have opened up a gap, a yawning chasm between themselves and the Commonwealth champion Cherono of probably 40 metres as they come through with 4 laps to run. The clock showing 10:01 as they go through. Ayana knows this is the only way she can possibly do it. When she ran that astonishing time of 14:14 in Shanghai, here in China, back in the middle of May, I was lucky enough to be present that night commentating on that Diamond League meeting. And she was all on her own. Blistering pace she set through the second half of the race, and looked so relaxed too round her final lap. Crossed the line literally some 3 seconds outside the world record, and promptly stated she had no idea she was that close to the world record. I think she actually said she didn't know what the world record was. A 66 from Ayana, and the damage is done, and this is telling. Still a long way to go, some 3.5 laps or so, but Genzebe Dibaba may be broken. The superhuman is fallible, is vulnerable, or is she? Over 3 laps to run, and Martin, this is really unexpected.
And you've got to think that the fact that Dibaba has got those races in her legs for earlier in this week, Ayana has come here just for this event, has targeted this 5,000 metres. We've spoken so much about the hardness of the track and how it beats up the legs of the middle and the long distance runners. Clearly, that is having an impact here. because Ayana has moved clear, and in the end she's done it remarkably easily, and she's going further and further and further. It's already up to 30 metres.
Well, Almaz Ayana, 23 years old. The national record for 3,000 metres for Ethiopia in Rabat earlier on this summer in Morocco. We knew she'd got strength and speed. She's also actually a very good steeplechaser. 64.5. That is almost 8-minute tempo for 3,000. 2:43 that kilometre. No wonder Dibaba has been destroyed by this injection. Well, she's 40 metres down. Unbelievable stuff. But Ayana is a tough cookie. She's a 9:22 steeplechaser. That was back in 2010. And she comes through below us now, and she's just run this lap in 65.6 by my hand timing. Well, just under 2 laps to run for Almaz Ayana, and astonishingly, the Ethiopian, the world #1 this year, the 3rd fastest in history, who does herself have enormous strength and speed, has broken the pre-race favourite, the outstanding favourite, it has to be said, Kenzebe Dibaba. I don't think, Martin, the 1,500-metre campaign of Dibaba early in the week is a factor. It was several days ago. What I do think a factor is the astonishing injection there from Ayana. 64, 66 there as well. And this is good running for a male 5,000-metre runner from Almaz Ayana. Lovely style too, really high knees. She almost gallops, doesn't she?
Well, she's very much on her toes, isn't she? And look at that. She just looks full of running. She is full of running. She's relaxed. The gap is growing and growing and growing, and now it's up to about 80 metres. It is remarkable.
Well, she comes through below us with the clock showing 13:19.86. What she's run for the final 400. But for those desperately slow first 2 kilometres, remember 6:06 at 2K. Well, she'd have smashed the world record here tonight. Dibaba goes through now on 13:34. She's 15 seconds behind, 16 seconds behind. In 3rd place and coming through the line as Ayana coasts around this final lap is another of the Ethiopians. It looks like they are going indeed to take bronze. It's Teferi, who looked like she might give them 1, 2, 3, although Mercy Chirona is tucked in there in 3rd place, and with 300 to run as Ayana negotiates the final bend down the back straight is the battle for the bronze, and it is a real ding-dong. In fact, it's Kibiwa battling away with Teferi, but this is the run of the championships to some extent in the distance races from Almaz Ayana. She has defied the odds. She has destroyed her compatriot, who is in danger, and the crown of the bend have been caught for the silver medal. She's going to win by over 100 metres here. Almaz Ayana, goal for Ethiopia in the 5,000 metres, 14:26. And I reckon her last 3,000 metres was something like 8:20. Unbelievable. And the sprint is on for the silver medal. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3 for Ethiopia. But Dibaba is out-sprinted, can you believe, for the silver by Teferi. Kibiwa, 4th for Kenya. And Kenzebe Dibaba, well, a bronze to back up that astonishing goal in the 1,500 metres. But humbled to some degree by a run from Almaz Ayana. It really does whet the appetite, Martin, because when you cover the last 3,820 like that, and there's not many women in history who have done that, then you know what she's capable of doing at 5,000 metres. And Zurich and Brussels and Rieti beckon over the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, there will be
special.
I beg your pardon, Tim. There will be meet promoters, I think, onto her agent very, very quickly, hastily arranging 5,000-metre races to get the world record done, because you're absolutely right, Tim. It was, by their standards, a very, very modest early pace. And despite that, she's caught up and she's picked up and she's got within some sides of the world record. She smashed the championship record. So this woman quite clearly has a world record in her. All she needs simply is a track, decent weather, and that's it. She's going to do it. 14:26.83. The championship record improved by a huge margin.
Teferi has run herself into the ground. Goodness me, that is giving 101%. And being able to out-sprint Kenzebe Dibaba, that's something to tell your grandchildren, frankly, when you look at the ability of Kenzebe Dibaba. Ayana there, helping her teammate lovely gesture from the newly crowned champion. And a championship record, Martin, which is not to be sniffed at when you look at the former champions like O'Sullivan and Zabo and Tirnesh Dibaba, Meseret Defar. World record holds themselves, Vivian Chariot. It's a who's who of women's 5,000 metre running over the last 20 years. And she tops the lot with that run, winning by the proverbial country mile.